This edition of MacVoices is supported by TextExpander by Smile, the makers of world-class software. Visit textexpander.com/podcast to learn more and download your free demo. Welcome to MacVoices. This is the talk of the Apple community, and I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, we're starting to look at the end of the holiday gift guides, but we're not done yet because there's still a lot of people we want to talk to and a lot of great gift ideas out there for you to give and get. This time around, we're going to talk to, well, I'll just introduce them and then we'll take off. So based on my screen, first up, Mr. Peter Cohen. Peter, it's great to see you.
Nice to see you guys too.
Yes, a nice big bright yellow room. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yes, my sunshiny room.
Yes, it looks so cheery, Peter. It really does. And also with us, in kind of just a white background, Ms. Brittany Smith. Brittany, it's great to have you.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. We did have a third member who was supposed to come, but they haven't shown up yet. If they do, we'll factor them in, and if not, well, we'll just plug on without them. So that means, folks, as you probably know already, but I'll sing it to you just real quick. We do four rounds of one pick each to give you ideas for what you might give or what you might want to get this holiday season. The only rule we have here is that we do our best not to duplicate from previous panels. It does happen occasionally, but we try to avoid it so you're not just hearing the same thing over and over. So with that, Peter, how about if I give you the first pick of the first round?
Cool. Well, here, let me show you what I'm picking. You know, this year, Chuck, and we've been through this a few times now. I know COVID has been really tough on everybody. The pandemic has really put people in a tailspin. So I really tried to keep it cheap this year. But I wanted to come up with some cool ideas for things that you can get people on your list, including some stuff that I've gotten in the past that I really, really enjoy. So my first pick is this. It's the 12-inch cast iron skillet from Lodge. Can you guys see that okay?
Yes, sir. Looks good.
Okay. My one of my three kids got me this last year, and I have used it every week without fail to make something. But cast iron skillets, if you've got somebody who likes to cook, they're inexpensive. They last forever. They're absolutely indestructible. And the great thing is, if somebody gets really out of hand with you, they make a great way to whack them upside the head.
That's a dangerous thing to say when everybody's on lockdown.
Indeed. Lodge makes fantastic ones. You can get them almost anywhere. You can actually get them off Amazon too if you want to make sure that your UPS driver hates you for life, because they are very, very heavy. Really, really good idea to get some forearm training before you start using these, because like a 12-inch, honestly, it's like moving a tombstone. It's incredible. But you can cook a paella in it and have plenty of leftovers for days to go. Lodge makes them in a variety of different sizes. Also makes a huge number of different models with different features and functionality. But I absolutely love mine, and I strongly recommend cast iron cookware to anybody in your life who likes to cook, who doesn't already have one, should probably get one. One thing I might recommend specifically is Lodge does have a version that includes a little silicone handle on it. Cast iron, of course, conducts heat beautifully, and always has these stubby little handles on it that are suitable for hanging, but not really much else. The silicone grip makes it easier to grab if you've got it on top of your range or your stove, and incredibly versatile. You can put these on a grill. You can put them on your gas range. You can cook them on electric. You can do whatever you want with them. And like I said, they make a good blunt force weapon if you need them.
That's a terrific pick, and I haven't had dinner, so when you said paella, it's like, darn, now does anybody around here do takeout paella?
Can I make a confession?
Sure.
I don't know what a paella is.
What is a paella? Paella is a wonderful dish that includes, well, I mean, it's a rice dish, but you can really put whatever you want in it. But the way that I like to make it is sort of the traditional way, which includes a couple of different proteins. Like we usually stick to chicken. Sometimes if I'm feeling adventurous, I'll throw something else in. Rice, butter beans or lima beans, all sorts of good things. And really, it's one of those things like a taco. You can sort of put whatever you want in it and call it paella.
And now that you've described it, we've really punished Chuck for waiting too long to eat dinner.
Yeah, really.
That's right. Oh, and seafood, of course. You got to have the seafood. You got to have whatever you want. The clams, calamari is really good in paella. I like.
I was surprised you didn't start with the seafood, Peter. Knowing where you live, I would think that'd be the first thing that would go into your paella.
Yeah, it's a blind spot for me because of where I live. I don't even think about it. Because chicken lobsters, you can get them at corner food trucks here on Cape Cod. Almost.
Yeah. Okay, well, I not sure. That may be the first cooking instrument we've had this year, but that's a really good one. And as you say, the Lodge is a great name. So nice first pick.
Thanks.
Brittany,
what are you going to get out of the gate with?
I'm going to go with something that is very on brand. It's a type of app that are extensions of shortcuts, and they make it so shortcuts can do more things. And I love them. My very favorite is Toolbox Pro, but there's Data Jar, and I store a ton of things in there. It's a little bit less user-friendly than the original shortcuts idea. Like you have to copy and paste the name over, and if you change the name, you're in trouble. But so it breaks things more. Whereas the Toolbox Pro, like you pick the exact thing and it'll tie back into the app, and it's so cool. There's a few others. I use one for creating widgets and updating them so I can see them regularly. Shortcuts app extension, like shortcuts related apps. They don't do anything on their own hardly. You really need to use them with shortcuts to get their capabilities.
So, and we should have said this earlier, but folks, we'll have links in the show notes to everything directly so that you don't have to wonder if you're going to the right thing. And Brittany will ask you to send over that list of apps. Because a couple of those I was not familiar with. I know I've played with a couple of the shortcuts apps. I'm not quite as much into shortcuts as you are, but at the same time.
It's hard to be.
Yeah. But yeah, they are very, very useful, no question. I saw Peter.
Hey, Brittany, I got a question. What's your absolute favorite shortcut? Like, what one do you use more than anything else?
Oh, what do I use more than any?
Yeah.
The ones for my daily routines. It's hard to be more than the thing I start 6 times in the morning.
Just automating.
Frequent. Yeah,
your
I
process.
automate my morning routine so that I don't forget what to do next or have to use any internal willpower past the first start.
I've got this sort of image of Brittany as like George Jetson on the conveyor belt that gets him ready in the morning.
Yeah, except like it's only on the phone and it's telling me the stuff to do. But yeah, or like opening the app to help me do it. Like, you need to look at your OmniFocus thing, so I'm going to open it for you. And that kind of thing.
Yes.
Ooh.
Brittany, remember, the left foot out of the bed first, then the right foot, then, left foot in front of the right to get to the bathroom. And yeah.
You're assuming that I have a traditional bed. That's adorable.
I can't leave that go now. What do you sleep? You sleep in a hammock or what?
No, like a mattress on the floor. So I actually crawl off the bed. I don't put the feet down.
Since I started working night shift, I just sleep in a coffin now with dirt from my native land.
That's important. I hear it's good to preserve.
Yeah, I knew
your mortal coil.
I knew when I put these two together it was going to get interesting. And we didn't even get through the first round yet, and it's already out.
I think I was 12 or 13 when I first read Dracula. So yeah.
Mm. That explains a lot, Brittany. Well, my first pick is an app that I interviewed the developer earlier this year that I really like. You know, we have audiobooks, of course, and that's fine, but a lot of us have ebooks, older ebooks. And yet I really don't want to necessarily sit down and read an ebook. And so there's an app that you can load your ebook in. It will read it to you, and it will read it to you in high quality voice. It has all the bells and whistles you want, the multiple voices, how many words per minute you're listening to. It's called VoiceStream. And it is so easy and so much fun to kind of make use of some of those old ebooks that you don't exactly have old ebooks lying around, but that you haven't maybe enjoyed for a while, or maybe that you purchased and just haven't gotten back to. I'm a big believer in just having anything read to me, because that way I can be doing something else with my hands and even part of my attention, and have it be absorbing it. So if you haven't tried it, go check out VoiceStream, and I think you will enjoy it if you have purchased books. And if you have something, it has to be non-DRM, of course. And there are ways to convert different ebook formats to make sure to load into VoiceStream or any other program you use. But this is the one that I would tell you to go and enjoy. It's not that expensive. The developer is constantly adding new things to it, which is one of the parts I really love about it. That it's not just one of those things like, oh, he put it out there and that's it. He's constantly improving and adding things too. And it's also very interesting if depending on what age you are, you might remember as a kid, when they try to teach you speed reading with, the text and the line flashing across it. And it does have that mode too, so that if you want to not use it for voice, but as a way to improve maybe your reading speed, that's another way to do it. It's a lot of different things here you can do with VoiceStream, but definitely check it out.
Chuck, may I?
Yes, by all means.
I recommend VoiceStream Reader on the regular. It is absolutely my number one accessibility app to recommend to folks. There's a lot of folks who come to me for ADHD stuff who also have dyslexia or other print disabilities, and the VoiceStream Reader is the thing. I emailed him back in grad school, Winston, and I said, these are the things I want this to do to help me get through grad school and read all my neuroscience papers. And it's amazing. And he's kept it up. I'm on the beta, and it's awesome. I cannot speak highly enough about this app. It never occurred to me to bring it up here ever.
Well, and Brittany, but you just said something that I had not considered. I don't consider it. Well, up until this point, I did not consider it an accessibility app. But I guess it is.
He has access to the Dyslexia font, also Open Dyslexic, but Dyslexia is my favorite accessibility font. And you can adjust the letter size. My cousin with dyslexia, when I showed it to her, like with the black background and the gray font and the Dyslexia font, she said it was a bubble bath for her eyes. And this is a woman who had loved to read, but had to push and work for it her whole life. And reading it in that format, suddenly it was a much more relaxing and enjoyable experience. It's because you can adjust how much you see on a page. So if your eyes get lost in a big paragraph, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And a lot of voice choices. It's so great.
Great. Well, I'm glad to have the endorsement, because it's one of those things that I'm afraid people are going to overlook, and say, well, gee, I can purchase the audiobook version of something. And actually,
but you can't always. That's the thing.
Yeah,
you can't always.
And honestly, I've come to really like the idea of having certain things read to me as opposed to performed for me. And that may sound strange, folks, if you aren't an audiobook aficionado, but a good audiobook author will perform the book. Of course, the computer is just reading it, but it feels a little bit different, because that way I'm getting to add the different things to it. And
sometimes, though, this can go wildly off.
Oh yeah,
off the res, like Ronan Farrow doing the European accents of the people that he interviewed. That was a little precious for me, but I know what you're saying. I was listening to the Neil Gaiman's Sandman stuff on Audible, and chef kiss, beautiful stuff. But voice stream, this is fascinating to me because I have a huge library of like PDF and, of course.
Yeah, you can import PDFs and other documents. Yeah. And that's
Gutenberg project, if you're interested in historical stuff, this is great. This is the sort of thing that I can use at work and improve my mind instead of listening to trashy pop all night.
And a huge game changer is you can have your own pronunciation dictionary. So by default, they see WM, like screen readers, and they say William. And in my world, that's working memory. And so I could change it when you see WM, pronounce it as working memory. And you can change, like you could do it to learn acronyms, or just because like you are in a field with specializations and you want it to be pronounced correctly.
Yeah. So I think we have a consensus here. All three of us go get voice.
Yeah, I'm gonna go try this app out, man.
Yeah. MacVoices is supported by Smile, the makers of world-class software like Text Expander. If you are a team leader or a team member, that means consistency of communication with each other and with your customers is more important than ever, but also more difficult than ever. Enter Text Expander. Text Expander from Smile not only saves time and money by automating those words, sentences, paragraphs, or pages so that they can be summoned with just a few characters, it also introduces accuracy and consistency. Each time that snippet is used, it is exactly as created the first time. No individual variations, no typos because you are tired of typing the same thing over and over. That means that once deployed to your team, no matter where they are, they will be using that snippet to respond to customer inquiries and creating documents with exactly what you intended, saving them time and making you look great. Invest a few seconds, literally a few seconds, in creating a Text Expander snippet and get paid back every single time you use it. And that can mount up to a lot of payments, since you will be using Text Expander multiple times an hour. Find out just how easy it can be to be more accurate and more productive by visiting textexpander.com/podcast right now. Find out some of the ways that a wide variety of businesses use Text Expander to be better. That's textexpander.com/podcast to see what Smile, the makers of world-class software, have to offer you and your business. Thanks to Smile for their ongoing support of MacVoices. Okay, so Peter, round two, you started us out.
All right, let me
bring the production value.
Let me show you what I'm looking at. Klutz Lego Chain Reactions. Klutz is you can get their stuff from Scholastic. I think that Klutz is a Scholastic imprint. I'm not sure. Lego Chain Reactions is really cool. If you are of a certain age or a certain predilection, and you like Rube Goldberg machines, or the old desktop game Mousetrap. This might appeal to you. Lego Chain Reactions teaches you or kids, it's certainly suitable if there are kids on your list, but it's also fun for grown-ups too, to sort of make kinetic sculptures using Legos, and it includes the Legos. It's pretty cheap. It's only $22, list price anyway, and lots and lots of fun. A little bit of functional, a little bit of fun. No like hard physics lessons here or anything. But the idea is, hey, we all love to build things up with Legos to knock them down. So let's understand how that works a little bit more, and let's play with some specialized pieces and see how it goes.
Peter, is this one of those sets that comes with, for lack of a better term, the plans or the blueprints for the machine, or is it something where you can?
Yeah,
okay.
No, it's an all-inclusive kit. You get the the layouts, and it comes with pieces as well. Obviously, if you've got your own Lego set, then you can sort of build off of it from there. But you can definitely get started with what they include here.
I was having this discussion, I think it was with Jeff Gamet the other day, about Legos and what you can do with it. And of course, when we were kids, back in the ancient days, I mean, you didn't get kits, and you didn't get, you got a bunch of blocks, and it was up to you and your imagination as to what you could put together. And Lego was brilliant with, coming out with the kits because, they're fun to put together and they actually get something at the end. But I also feel like there's something a little bit lost since they don't seem to focus as much on letting the kid do the imagination thing. But hey, whatever.
Yeah, Jeff is a if I remember correctly, Jeff is a big advocate of the Lego Advent calendar.
Yes, which he's running right now, as a matter of fact. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, I saw some of his creations, or one of his creations yesterday. I'm of two minds about this, Chuck. One is that, ideally, a construction toy like Lego or anything similar is ultimately, you want to build on your own creativity, your own craftsmanship, or whatever you want to call it, to sort of come up with your own ideas. On the other hand, these kind of projects enable you to kind of break out of, well, okay, I've just got a pile of blocks. Now, what am I going to do? Or, what is my kid going to do? To actually have some directed ideas. And in that respect, I think we can all kind of get pushed out of our comfort zone a little bit and have some fun with it. So, I'm not opposed to it. But yeah, I mean, back in my day, we didn't even have, connecting parts on our Legos. We had to carve it. We had to whittle it.
Build them uphill both ways.
We had to paint them. They all came in black.
Yes, exactly.
What is it? What is it that they say if your reaction to adversity is to say, well, I had to face adversity and I came out fine, so everybody else should have to deal with the same crap I did. You didn't come out fine. This is progress. This is progress, folks.
Yes.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I mean, if I feel bad if the kids only do the projects, that they come with, if they don't reach out and play with them a little more and maybe make some of their own. But at the same time, doing a project is better than not doing anything at all. So, take your pick.
Wasn't that literally what the Lego movie was about?
Yeah.
I didn't see the Lego movie. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Chuck. I'm sorry.
Chuck, I got to tell you something. Just as an aside, this is completely orthogonal to the conversation. Will Arnett is my favorite movie Batman. He's Lego Batman.
Yes, agreed.
Okay, that's all right. On that basis, I will go see the Lego movie.
And I grew up with on Adam West, so
yeah.
He gets second.
Okay. He gets second. Okay.
To Will Arnett. Yeah.
All right. Brittany, round 2.
Okay, so that made me think of my nephew, which made me pick my next thing. When I stopped to think what would I want to pick, one of the things that I went to was, what do I feel like saved my rear this year, or the rear of those I love? And a stop motion app saved my nephew and his parents from insanity, because he had a project to do and he could be as creative as he wanted to, and he would do it with Lego. And he had this app on his iPad, and he would just make these incredible creations, which led me to teach him how to edit video in iMovie. He's 7. It was really cool, and it was just this awesome form of creative expression in the device he had already, that he was, not that Minecraft isn't creative in its way, but that he had mostly only been playing Minecraft on. And it was just this really cool thing. And he had these videos and he could share them with the family. And so there might be better ones out there. I'll give you the link to the one that he used. I haven't perused them, but I can tell you it saved my family, him having one.
How old's your nephew?
7.
7. Okay, 7. And you have him doing stop motion video.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Hey, Peter. Can you imagine having Brittany as an aunt?
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
I have a shirt somewhere that says Ant of the Millennium with the Millennium Falcon on it.
There we go. The cool nerd ant.
Yeah, the cool nerd ant. Yeah. There's the t-shirt you need, Brittany. Cool nerd ant.
I'll put in a request.
Yeah. Very, very nice. What you say you were using iMovie to teach you the stop motion stuff?
No, so he had a stop motion app, and then he was frustrated because he was hitting these in-app purchase things, and I was just like, why don't I just get you the in-app purchase? But that would have been a pain to do it with my brother and whatever. So I was like, why don't we just export it into iMovie? And so we exported the video he made into iMovie, and then he could mix it with live action. And so then he discovered a whole new skill that he could edit.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay, parents out there, there's your challenge. If Brittany can do it with a 7-year-old, you can do it with your kid. On Christmas afternoon, that's what you're going to be doing, is teaching them to edit video. Yeah. They're going to love you for that, Brittany. Well, I'm going to pick for the second round something that no one has picked so far, and I've been really shocked that it hasn't come up. Maybe everybody already has them, but if not, I'm going to encourage you to maybe start experimenting with the connected home stuff, and specifically the Hue lights, because they are they're a lot of fun. They are easy to use. They are compatible with both HomeKit and the Amazon devices and the Google devices, so it doesn't really matter which one you have. Start with the white lights, and then progress to the color ones if you are so inclined. But I was skeptical of them for a while, and they've really become now so much a part of my life, just to be able to walk into a room and say, hey, in my case, the S lady, turn on this room, or make this room 50%. Or turn on the dresser, or whatever. It just Peter mentioned the Jetsons before. I mean, it does make you feel like you're living in the future, but it's a super convenient thing. And I know there are going to be people out there that say, yeah, I can go over and flip the light switch. That's kind of not the point, because this is your first step into this world. And I think you will really, really enjoy it once you do it. And you'll find that there are a lot of things that will actually benefit from you being part of that world. So, but the Hue lights, I think, is where you want to start. And I do recommend the Hue simply because they seem to be, they're a great name. They work with everything. Yes, they're a little more expensive. You can find plenty of discounted ones out there, and that's great. But just the reliability of them is questionable at best. The Hues for me seem to have been pretty darn rock solid, and that way I'm not bouncing between a whole bunch of different things and trying to figure out which ones work with which one of the HomeKit or the Amazon platforms. I just want something that works with them all, so I can control them from either platform. So Hue lights, go check them out.
Okay. 2 things. 1, you missed your opportunity to say your first steps into a larger world. 2, that actually was on my list. So there you go.
Oh, I still burn.
Yeah.
Good. Peter, have you gone down that route?
A little bit. It's funny. I was while you were talking about this, I was thinking about a friend who mentioned that they've been having fun with HomeKit scenes. So when her husband gets out of the shower, she's got an automation scene where she says, Siri, Daddy's naked. And it closes the blinds in the room, lowers the lights to like halfway, and automatically kicks on like a Barry White soundtrack or something like that. So, you can get fresh, or you can do useful things.
You can also change your watch settings so that doesn't get in the way. Just saying, I might have a shortcut like that.
Okay, there we go.
See?
So we're learning all sorts of stuff on MacVoices tonight.
I know.
Yeah, really.
It's always an education on this show.
Yeah. But Brittany, what do you mean by watch settings? I don't understand.
I was really hoping you were going to ask, Chuck.
Well, it can't be any worse than Daddy's naked. So, I don't think.
No, it's just, if you're an active sort of person, sometimes your flashlight can get turned on your watch accidentally and it spoils the Barry White mood. So you can put it on water lock and do not disturb. And
so my low tech solution, but actually this is a good segue. My low tech solution for that was to go reverse crown.
Yeah.
So
bedtime now will do it too, but I came up with the idea before I realized that that's what bedtime did.
There we go. Yeah. So Craig Hockenberry on Twitter years ago mentioned that he was doing this because he's a big guy, and I guess that I forget what he was doing, but something was setting it off because the digital crown kept, or the skin on the back of his wrist kept hitting the digital crown.
Mm-hmm.
So his solution was to go reverse crown. So that's exactly what I did. I switched it up. So my crown was on the lower left. And the only problem with this is that Apple, after all these years of supporting reverse crown on the Apple Watch, still hasn't quite got the UX down correctly. So a lot of times when you're adjusting volume levels or something else with your crown, you'll still see a little progress bar, thermometer bar appear where the digital crown was, not where it actually is. But outside of that little UX, stupidity that only nerds like us care about.
Right.
It works out quite well if you are physically active or rambunctious or whatever, and you find your watch arbitrarily getting activated when you don't want it to.
I'm so glad I asked Brittany. I really am.
Yeah, better that you asked Brittany than me.
Yeah. All right. We will wrap up this edition of the MacVoices Holiday Gift Guide with 2 more rounds of great picks from Brittany Smith and Peter Cohen in the next edition of MacVoices. I hope you'll join us to see what else they have for you this holiday season. Until then, and as always, thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you MacVoices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.